Welcome
to Sort of the Story.
I'm Janey.
And I'm Max.
And I love you.
And I love you too.
And we love all of you.
Happy birthday.
I am so in love with you, Max. Everything that I've ever done, you've come.
My God.
Like, I was thinking this the other day. Literally, I've opened this podcast with like, "Hey, Max, do a foghorn leghorn," and you're like, "Well, howdy." Max, you're nothing if not so immediately on board with every bit. You're the fucking best.
Thanks, buddy.
Hi, guys. This is the podcast where we tell each other stories like fairy tales, folk tales. I almost said feminist.
Fairy tales, feminism, and feathered friends.
Welcome. This podcast isn't for children. Also, we're recording kind of late at night, but we're going like on the tail of recording a 4-hour-long drunk bonus episode. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, we're a little like over it right now.
Yeah, this is a late night episode, but it's one of the sleepy late night episodes. It's not one of the ones where we talk about which vegetables we would adopt.
Radishes.
Of course you would pick radishes. I would also pick radishes.
Obviously, they're the ones that need moms.
That's
okay,
so true.
Guys, welcome to the podcast. We're going to tell you a couple stories today, but before we do that, if you're listening to this like, I wish I could hang out with them, but like pay them while I do it. Oh boy, do I have good news for you.
First of all, God bless you.
Yeah, thank you for knowing our worth. And that worth is...
on the Patreon.
$3.
If you're going to set me up, let me take it.
I am so sorry. Go ahead.
Our worth is on the Patreon. Mm-hmm. You can put a specific dollar amount to our lives and the time that we spend.
Yay.
For example, for $3, you get access to the Discord, which is where we hang out with all the listeners and have a great time. It's the most fun. I really can't stress enough. I know we've said this 1,000 billion times, but it's the most fun.
It is.
It's just the coolest little community, and we love everyone there.
It's a group chat. It's a group chat that you can pop on literally for any reason. Mm-hmm. And I think that a lot of times when people, I know I'm already going on a tangent. I think a lot of times, because I've been on other like podcast Discords where it's just like very large and you're like, everybody already knows each other and they're all like talking. But in this one, literally people will pop on and be like, "Hi, I've never spoken here before, but like my grandma just like punched me in the face." Like something, and then like gave me some bubble gum. And everyone's like, "That's weird." And also,
what kind of bubble gum?
I'm so sorry. Here's some advice. And also, what kind of bubble gum? Yeah, like, again,
do you want me to fight your grandma?
Answer the question about the bubble gum first. Anyway, it's a really good community. You just jump in and then you're friends with everyone. Everyone is so nice.
They really are. It's very welcoming and open, and we try and make sure that there are lots of opportunities for people to be a part of it. And we would love to see you there.
And you can talk about the podcast. You can talk about books you're reading.
You can talk about literally, I mean, genuinely, the thing that we talk about.
Everything.
Yeah, the thing that we talk about the least on the Discord is probably the podcast.
Yeah, but we're always willing to talk about the podcast if you want to jump in.
Absolutely. But we have like a pets channel where everyone posts pictures of their pets. We have show and tell where people post like projects that they're working on or food that they've made or things that they're doing. The blood room where everyone shares their medical nightmares.
Okay, so join that. If you're like, I need a community, and that's the one. That's it.
And I need a community and I have $3 a month.
That's the community for you.
If you need a community and you have $7 a month,
yay!
You get access to the Discord at the $7 tier, and you also get a full-length bonus episode every single month, as well as access to the back catalog of bonus episodes. Like we said, we just recorded like a 4-hour-long, truly unhinged, off-the-rails episode where we got in it, dude.
That episode was meant to be episode 146, but I accidentally got super drunk.
Yeah, we realized halfway through that it was not fit for public consumption.
It wasn't. We were getting so personal. I openly wept over the concept of a millipede being flushed down the toilet. So, like, anyway, that wasn't for, like, public consumption, but if you want to listen to it, I think it's really good.
Yeah, I got really serious and emotional about the concept of folklorism. And then we talked about whether couples should sleep in beds together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Max says no.
I say no.
I
want to know why?
I can't imagine.
Pay me $7.
Hey. If you pay her $8, she'll sleep in a bed with you.
If you pay me $9, I'll sleep in a bed that is separate from the bed that you're in. So it'll be just like we're married.
It'll be like we're on the set of I Love Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so do that.
Do it.
Come hang out with us.
The Patreon link is in the show notes for this episode and every episode. You can also find it on our website, sortofthestory.com. And if you can't figure out how to get on the Patreon or on the Discord or anything like that, send us an email, sortofthestory@gmail.com.
or go onto our Instagram and DM us. Also, just slide into the DMs, okay? I check all of them. I love them all.
Yeah.
Sometimes I post what you tell me onto the stories. So tell me if you don't want me to post that. Also, before we even begin, please, if you're feeling so good right now, if you're like, I just have so much love to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Thank you. If you're like, I feel like spewing hatred, there's this Instagram account. It's run by at Donald Trump.
Sure.
Spew it there.
Yeah.
He loves it. Okay.
Fantastic.
Anyway. Oh my God, she made it so political.
Oh my God. Okay.
Hey, you're going first today.
Great. I have guys,
She's been warning me about this since she got home today.
Let's take the break and then I'll talk about it.
Okay, well, if that's not going to make you want to come back, I don't know what will. We'll see you in 1 second.
Okay, Janey.
Okay, Max.
Janey, okay. The story that I have for you today is so upsetting. It's really, truly the most upsetting story I've ever told in this podcast.
Okay.
To me. I don't know if other people will find it as upsetting as I do, but it is very specific and unique in being horrifying. It is a body horror story.
Okay.
It's a creature feature.
Okay.
There is a decent chance that some people, this will be a weird fetish for them.
Okay.
And live your life. It makes me very upset.
Okay.
So I'm sharing it with everyone so that you all get to share in my horrors.
I'm very excited. Before you tell them that, can you please tell them the body horror thing that Frances did?
Jesus Christ.
Max walked through the door and her son got the zoomies. That's where we're starting. Her son being her dog. It was
so gross. Content warning for this and also just my whole story.
You did tell them about Elizabeth Bathory.
Yeah, if you're squeamish, just skip to Janey's story, honestly.
Yeah, my story's fun.
Yeah. Today I got home from work. My son got excited to see me. He got the zoomies. He ran around the house a bunch of times. He ran around so fast and so hard, and he is so dense and heavy, like a little cast iron cannon.
A little neutrino.
Yeah, he rolled over the transition board, between where there's tile and where there's wood on our floors, and completely tore it up out of the floor. Mm-hmm. And I was like, all right, settle down. And I put him outside in our yard. And then I went back to fix the floor transition, and it wouldn't sit flat, and I lifted it up, and underneath of it was just a massive claw.
His whole nail.
And I was like, that's so crazy. How long has that been down there? And then I took it out, and it was
gooey.
It wasn't gooey.
It's a little bit gooey.
It was not gooey. It was specifically not gooey. But I was like, that's so crazy. When would this looks like an entire nail. How would this have happened? And then I let Francis in and his little paw was bleeding. But he fully didn't react to it.
Didn't even notice. We were about to throw up.
Yeah, we both were. Honestly, still might.
Yeah. It's just holding his whole fucking nail. The whole thing. Just
just the outside part.
A thick little claw.
Yeah, it was deeply horrifying.
Made worse for the fact that Francis has the best little emo nails.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has little black nails.
Yeah, he's got emo nail polish on at all times. So we don't want to lose those.
No.
It looks great.
It will grow back. I Googled it.
Okay, good.
But also he is so fussy about his back feet. If I try and cut his back toenails, which I do enough. So to be clear.
Yeah.
I probably could do it more, but I am not neglecting him, and that's not why his claw came out.
The back claws don't grow as fast as the front claws.
Yeah, but it just got caught underneath of the floor.
Oh my God. Okay, anyway, I just wanted to start that off. Okay.
Yeah, horrifying.
Yeah.
Horrifying. Don't like that. But the story that I'm about to tell is worse.
Okay. All right. So if you really didn't like Francis's nail, really skip to my story.
Really, truly.
Yeah.
This is also a very short story, which I read this actually 2 months ago. And I was like, I don't think I can use this for the podcast because it's very short. Mm-hmm. But then I haven't stopped thinking about it since then. So now you all have to join me in the bad place.
And if you want a very long episode, go join the Patreon.
Yes.
We have a 4-hour bonus episode just waiting for you.
Yeah, it's steaming. This story comes from When the Chenoo Howls, Native American Tales of Terror by Joseph and James Bruchac, which is a truly phenomenal collection. It's really hard to find copies of it online for some reason. It came out in, I think, 1999 or something like that. It's really tricky to find a copy of the book, but if you can, absolutely grab a copy because it is so, so well written and all of the stories are so cool and terrifying. They range from campfire scary to what I'm about to tell you, which can't underline enough. Haunts my nightmares.
Okay.
But this story is an Abenaki story.
James and Joseph Bruchac are Abenaki. They probably put all their whole hearts and souls into this one.
Wish they hadn't. The year is what the English would call 1750.
Okay.
Two young men named Patolo and Azone are paddling canoes down the Quanituck River. They both have like furs to trade with an English settlement that's further downriver. And they've been paddling all day long. They're going together to the settlement to trade their furs for things that the English have brought. It starts to get later in the afternoon, and Azone is like, I feel like we should just start looking for camp now. Like, it's starting to get dark. It's not quite dark yet, but, you know, we have all of tomorrow, so we can always just turn in a little bit early tonight. Mm-hmm. And Patolo says, I think we should keep going. I don't think we should stop here. And Azone is like, okay, well, I'm tired, so I would like to stop here. And Patolo says, well, my grandfather took me down this stretch of the river before, and he told me a story that I should never, ever, ever stop and make camp along these shores, no matter what. He said that really dangerous things happen here, and that it's always worth it to just keep going until we get out of this like stretch of river. Mm-hmm. And Azone says, sounds like more of your grandpa's superstitions. What is it now? Man bears? Call back to that episode that I did on man bears.
Man bear doesn't exist. Man bear's just in our hearts and minds.
Man bear episode 144, I think. So yeah. Recent.
It's called Chekhov's Man Bear.
And Patolo says, no, not man bears. My grandfather told me about the spreaders.
Ew. Oh.
Yeah.
Ew. Ew. Oh.
The story's called The Spreaders.
Gross.
Yeah, it's horrifying.
The imagery no.
It's worse than you can imagine. It's worse.
I'm imagining something really weird and gross.
It's worse.
No. Can I opt out?
No.
All right.
You have to live in this hell with me. Mm-hmm. He says that the spreaders are a kind of little people. The little people we've talked about before, they are any of like a number or variety of basically like the fae equivalent. These like small creatures that exist alongside people who mostly are kind of like nature spirits. Some of them are very well-meaning and will help you. Some of them are not well-meaning and will hurt you.
Yeah.
The spreaders are the latter. They are incredibly mean and cruel, and it does not take much to get in their bad graces.
Incur their wrath.
Yeah. And Azone is like, well, I've never heard of the spreaders, so I think your grandfather probably just made that up. And Patolo says, well, my grandfather didn't tell me all that much, but what he did tell me is that the spreaders are as small as little children. They have skinny little arms and legs, like twigs, but they are incredibly strong and very, very mean.
Smallest little children is a lot bigger than what I imagine for little people. Mm-hmm. It's actually kind of like a giant, like little fairy creature.
I'm picturing them being like a little less than 2 feet tall.
Even like the size of a kindergartner is still a lot bigger than I would like them to be.
Yeah. You might change your opinion on that.
Okay.
They are so mean that even the bears are afraid of them.
Man bear's like, not for me, thank you.
No, thank you.
I'm just trying to race, man.
I'm not trying to have a man versus spreader fight. Yeah. Even the bears are afraid of them because if anything tries to eat the spreaders, they will shove sticks into its mouth until it cannot close its mouth.
Like, what are we talking about? Long ways or like up and down?
I think long ways.
Okay.
So just like a bunch of sticks. I think. That's what I'm picturing, and that's what makes this so upsetting to me.
All right.
Is just they like cram sticks in until you cannot close your jaw. Right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And they wedge the mouth open of anything that tries to like eat them or attack them or anything like that. Mm-hmm. And then there's a horrifying line that truly sent chills down my spine every single time. And it says, they like to spread things open with sticks. That's their thing.
What?
And the moral of the story is never camp in their territory, according to Grandpa. Well, and Azole is like, okay, well, that's silly.
Is it? It doesn't sound silly.
Azole is like, I'm tired,
if it's silly, shouldn't we both be tee-heeing?
He says, I'm tired, I can't paddle anymore, I'm exhausted, and I don't care what your grandpa said, because he was crazy. So I'm going to stop here. If you want to keep going, you can, but I'm going to make camp, so. And Patolo's like, I really don't think you should. I think that you should come with me a little bit further on. Like, it's not dark yet. We can get to a safer place to camp. And Azole's like, okay, you do that. I'm going to camp right here. And so Azole takes his canoe and he pulls off to the side of the river and he starts to make camp. And Patolo waits a couple of minutes to see if he'll change his mind, but he doesn't. So Patolo, with a sigh, continues down the river.
Okay, good.
I might be saying Azole this whole time.
Okay.
His name is Azone.
Okay.
I wrote it wrong in my notes like 30 times.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah.
Good. Do you want to put in a quick Azone?
Azone.
So I can just like piece it in. So then, Julian Azone.
Azone. Azone calls out to Patolo and he says, I'll meet you downstream in the morning. You go take camp further downriver since you're so full of energy or whatever. Azone proceeds to set up camp in the dangerous stretch of the river. Patolo paddles down the river and he keeps going. It starts getting darker, and so he paddles faster and faster until he gets to a point that he feels like is safe outside of this stretch of the woods. Mm-hmm. He lands his canoe and he starts setting up camp because no matter what, he's like, I hope that this is silly and I hope that Azone is going to be fine, but I'm not willing to risk it.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. About 2 hours later, it is completely dark out. He has made a small fire and he puts together his dinner and everything. And after he kind of gets settled and has a moment of quiet, he thinks about Azone. And he's kind of chosen this little peninsula in the river so that he can see further upriver to where Azone would be. And now that it's completely dark, he looks up the river and he sees that he can see kind of like the tiniest bit of an orange glow from a campfire further upriver and the smoke coming up out of the woods from where Azone would be camped. Mm-hmm. Feeling comforted that Azone is there and has his fire going, he finally gets himself all ready for bed and he goes to sleep. Mm-hmm. He wakes up in the morning and he gets all of his stuff packed up and he goes out in his canoe. He sets his canoe so that it's ready to be launched into the river, and he waits for Azone to arrive from upriver. And a couple of hours pass and Azone does not come. So Patolo becomes very concerned and he rows his way back upriver to where Azone set camp. When he gets there, he sees like the marks where the canoe is pulled up out of the water, but the canoe is gone. Mm-hmm. He pulls his canoe up to the bank. He gets out and he starts calling for Azone, and he doesn't hear a single thing. He walks around a little bit and he comes across like the very well cleaned up remains of a campsite. It's like there was a small fire here. Azone put it out and like covered it up and everything like that. There's nothing left behind or anything. And he realizes, he's like, oh, right. Azone is a bit of an asshole. And he's probably like mad at me for not hanging out with him last night. So he probably woke up early and started downriver to get to the settlement before me to sell all of his furs before I could get there.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
And the canoe is completely gone. So he's like,
no, that's definitely what happened.
Yeah. So he puts all of his things back together and he continues to paddle down the river. It takes all day, but finally he gets to the English settlement that's further downriver. And as soon as he gets in, he's like, hey, I think my friend's already here. And all of the settlers are like, you're what? You're who? And Patolo looks around, but nobody has seen Azone anywhere. They didn't know that they were coming and they haven't seen anyone all day.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back at Azone's camp, the night before, Azone, truly thinking absolutely nothing of it. Mm-hmm. He put together his fire, he made his dinner, he got his stuff all unpacked, and he set out furs that he can sleep in. He wrapped himself up because it was getting a little bit cold that night, and he fell asleep. And he was exhausted from canoeing all day.
Yeah, he stopped early because he was tired.
Yeah, he was completely exhausted, and so he like passed out hard. Mm-hmm. So hard, in fact, that he did not wake up to the sounds of tiny feet moving around in the clearing. However, he did wake up when he felt something touch him. Mm-hmm. And very suddenly he sat up and then something hit him on the head and he blacked out.
Okay.
If Patolo had continued a little bit further into the woods, mm-hmm. he would see that there was a small bluff, a hill in the woods that obscured view from what was further in. And directly behind the bluff, he would have found Azone's canoe.
Okay.
And next to Azone's canoe, he would have found another canoe. and another.
Oh.
And another and another.
Mm-hmm.
Piles and piles of canoes from all different tribes, Abenaki, Mohican, Mohawk, even English and French canoes, piled up in various states of decay behind this little hillock, completely turned over, all of the goods still in them, left to rot in the woods. And if he had continued further, he would have come to a small depression in the ground in which is piled decades of human bones.
Mm-hmm.
And in the human bones, he would have found a zone. If he had looked a little bit further, he might have found a zone alive.
What?
A zone is back behind this kind of junkyard of canoes in this pile of bones that are in various degrees of decomposition and everything. He wakes up to find himself unable to move on top of this pile of bones. And I'm just going to read this section because it's truly fucking chilling.
Okay.
Twigs were placed between all his toes and fingers, spreading them out as far as they could go. Sticks spread his arms and legs out so wide he couldn't move. Twigs propped open his eyes and his mouth. And as he's in this state of being unable to move and having just every part of his body immobilized by sticks, he can hear Patolo calling for him.
Oh, no.
And he tries to call out to him, but his mouth has been wedged open for so long that he can only manage like a raspy groan that Patolo would never be able to hear. So he had to listen to his friend get back into his canoe and continue down the river.
Oh.
Patolo back at the settlement realized that if Azone was not there, then he had not left the campsite.
Then something got him.
Mm-hmm. And he very quickly realizes that his friend Azone is not going to be seen again.
Mm-hmm.
And he returns to remind everyone to avoid the spreaders.
Oh my God.
The end.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm a little confused as to how you can spread somebody's arms out with sticks. Legs, I get. You know, like, I can't do a split. You know, like, that.
Yeah.
I get that you get to past a point of no return with, like, legs. But, like, arms just have, like, a full range of motion. That's a ball joint, you know?
Yeah. I have no idea, but the thought is horrifying.
It is really fucking scary.
Yeah, I don't like it. I'm kind of picturing, honestly, so what I'm picturing, this is horrifying. I'm picturing kind of like, almost like a cast made of sticks.
Yeah, like
so that they're
across.
like bound straight out.
Yeah.
So it kind of looks like a scarecrow almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, like you can read this, I think, as like a stick in their mouth between their lower jaw and their like palate to keep their mouth open. But I'm picturing like 80 sticks just holding their mouth open, which is horrifying to me.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, really upsetting. Also, like twigs holding open their eyeballs and their mouths.
Yeah,
and,
like
your
everything.
fingers being stretched all the way out. Ugh.
Yeah, the fingers and the toes. Unnecessary.
For what reason?
What little assholes.
I know, those little psychos.
Yeah. Also, I really, as I said that, I felt my voice get quieter because, like, I don't want them to hear me. Like, I'm going to be scared of that for a while.
I know.
Don't like those little guys.
I know, dude. I'm
a firm believer in the little guys.
Oh my God.
Which sounds like my law firm billboard.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in the little guys.
Could also be your billboard for boner pills.
I'm a firm believer in your little guy. Max, do you know what an erection is?
No.
I mean, do you
Didn't
know
we
what
just have one?
hard on is?
I thought we just had an erection like beginning of November, right?
That's insensitive to me. Wow. Not even fantastic. You're
Bad.
right. Gross. Bad.
Bad.
That certainly doesn't make you feel good.
No, bad. And
Yeah.
now I've spread it to all of you.
Oh my God. And the real spreader was Max.
Please don't say that.
Oh, Max.
So the spreaders are a figure in Abenaki folklore. Again, they are like a kind of like a species of the little people.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, though, they are talked about as being prevalent in this one stretch of a river called the Saint Maurice, which is in Quebec.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a space along the river that people do not stop on. because of the stories about this thing. And that scares the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing to be like, ooh, sometimes you'll stop along the river and it'll be dangerous and you might not know it, but like you're in dangerous territory. But no, it's like they're like, this is where it happens. Literally, this one spot is where it happens, and it is so prevalent that we have stories about the specific thing that happens in this area.
If Patolo had found him, though, he would have been dead. Those little things would not have let him take his friend out, you know?
Maybe. It is specifically, the spreaders do not like it when people camp on their land. So they won't just attack you outright unless you are sleeping in their territory. It also, there is a specific note in the story. The Bruchaks talk a little bit about the spreaders as lore. And they say that trespassers will be attacked by the spreaders. And the unlucky ones won't be found. And they will just be stuck in place until they die.
Yeah. Which is a nightmare.
Yeah. But some people, I would assume from that, like, people have, in the stories, been found.
Yeah, how would the stories,
freed. Yeah.
how would the stories have a spread?
But this story is oral tradition, and specifically the Bruchaks call out a couple of the elders, Maurice Dennis, Stephen Laurent, and Cecile Wawanolet, as the people who told this story to them.
Fantastic.
Thanks for the nightmares, gang.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks a bunch. Love it a bunch. Also, though, this is one of the stories that is available on Joseph Bruchak's website. So you can find the full free text of this story in the show notes for this episode, which is great because you can get a sense of, like, James Bruchak is the one who wrote it. It's on Joseph Bruchak's website, but you can get a really good sense of James Bruchak's storytelling voice, which I think is incredible.
Oh, yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
James Bruchak is the dad, and Joseph Bruchak is the very hot son.
I feel like you changed that every time.
No.
I feel like you switched them.
No, Joseph Bruchak is the son.
Okay.
If he's not, then you can't sue me. I'll sue you first. Okay.
Wow.
Do you want to take a little break?
Yes, please.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Sorry for bringing this horror into everyone's lives.
What did you think about that? Did you like that?
Creature feature.
Feature. I mean, you did just drop another cryptid, which, like, isn't great.
I gotta stop dropping all these cryptids.
Drop the fun ones. All right. Guys, we'll be right back. Bye. Okay, Max.
Okay, Janey.
Max, I am sufficiently fucking icked.
Yeah, same. I'm really excited for your story, which isn't my story, and that's the best thing about it.
Yeah, I've got a really good news. I'm not also telling the spreaders. The spreaders, God. It's so bad.
It's so upsetting.
That completely altered how I view the verb spread.
Yeah, it's horrifying. Again, I've been coping with this.
Spread.
Yeah, I've been coping with this for like 2 months.
Yeah.
Having a bad time with it, so.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to bring you a story from Andrew Lang's The Olive Fairy book.
Lovely.
So it's a little tale. Just a little ditty.
Oh.
It's called Diamond Cut Diamond, and it is a Punjabi tale.
Diamond Cut Diamond.
Yeah. When I looked it up, sometimes when people were like, here's this story, you know, like they just take the full text and like put it online. Every once in a while, they'll be like, Diamond Cuts Diamond to like make it make sense, but that's not the title. It's Diamond Cut Diamond. So those people are just adding their own flair.
I love the flair.
Okay, I'm just going to get into it. So this is Diamond Cut Diamond.
How would that work?
Don't even worry about it.
Okay.
First line. Quote, in a village in Hindustan, there once lived a merchant who, although he rose early, worked hard, and rested late, remained very poor.
Same.
That's fucking relatable.
Except that I don't rise early.
You know how early I get up? I go into work an hour early every single day, and I stay until they kick me out, and I'm so poor. Anyway. Anyway, that's my story. What did you think? Also horrifying, right?
Pretty bad.
Yeah. Eventually, this man, this merchant, realized he was never going to change his luck by staying where he was, so he moved to a different country to get a new job and start fresh. And after 12 long years, he had succeeded in changing his circumstances. He's super rich now.
Nice.
Yeah, good for him, I guess. He was rich enough that he had enough money to basically retire and be well cared for the rest of his life. And he decided it was time to move back to his own village. He had never stopped thinking about his home, and he was desperate to spend the remainder of his life with his own people, like next to his family. He was like, it's time. There were no credit cards or banks at this point.
Must have been nice.
I know. So carrying his wealth back with him would be pretty tricky, right? Like, how do you travel with that amount of money?
Yeah.
So what he ended up doing was he bought some magnificent jewels and he locked them in this little box, and he hid the little box on his body. And then, so as not to draw any attention to himself, like on the road as somebody who would be a potentially good mark
for robbers.
Yeah, murder and rob. He dressed like a poor person, like a dirty poor, you know?
Wow.
Yeah, like me. He's wearing my little dresses that I get from the thrift store. And he made his way down the road. He traveled very quickly, and he was soon only a few days away from his hometown. And he had passed the area where he knew thieves were like, you know, always around and waiting to rob people. And so he started to feel like safe. He's like, I made it through the hard part. Now I can like basically like stop dressing like a dirty poor. So he went past a city, and he decided to stop in the city and like do some shopping and dress really nice so that when he would make it to his hometown, he would look really good, which is fair. Because even if I wear makeup everywhere, I'm like fully dressed and stuff like that when I go on planes. Like I don't do the casual clothes really, but I also am known to like do a lot of touch-ups and make myself look really cute before I see anybody the second I get off a plane.
Yeah.
Like, you will wait for me to look presentable.
Yeah, I don't go anywhere without makeup.
Yeah. So I get what this guy's doing.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, I'm about to return home. I'm going to be looking good. In his new clothes, he walked around the city for a bit, and eventually he came upon a shop that had expensive silks and carpets and goods from many different countries, and sitting among all the finery was the shop owner. His name was Bika Mol, and he was smoking a long silver pipe.
Bika Mol is definitely a Star Wars character.
This sounds like a Jar Jar Binks character.
Yeah. Bika Mol 100% is a Jar Jar Binks.
Bika Mol is just, unfortunately, just a Jar Jar Binks.
He's a Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah. We didn't make the rules. The merchant perused and shopped a bit, and he made polite conversation with the shopkeeper. And Bika Mol was this, like, very shrewd man. And he clocked... And he clocked right away that the merchant was obviously very wealthy. He's like, he's dressed pretty well, yes, but also he just kind of like carries himself like somebody who has money. So he's like, I need to get to know this guy more. And so after he made his purchases, Bika Mol invited him to come in and refresh himself, and he like struck up a pleasant conversation, and they just like hung out in the shop for a little while. And he asked the merchant where he was going. And the guy was like, oh, I'm going to this village. It's a couple of days away. And he like pointed in the direction. And when he did that, Bika Mol shook his head and was like, oh, you're going down that road? That's there's a lot of thieves waiting to rob people down that road. Like, it's really dangerous, like kind of like infamously so, you know? Anyway, I guess good luck. And the merchant, like, immediately goes super pale, and he's like, oh, my God, I'm somebody who doesn't want to be robbed. While that would be so embarrassing if I make it, like, a day away from my home and then I lose everything. Like, that would be so scary. And so he's like, thank God you were here to tell me about this. Like, what a good friend. And so he says, Lala Ji. And Lala Ji is like an honorific. Lala is like a title, and Ji is like an honor. It's like saying dear sir. Mm-hmm. Okay. He says, Lala Ji, could you oblige me by locking up for me a small box for a short while? No reason.
I just feel like I gotta say this. He's still a couple of days away from his town.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be getting dressed up now. I would be like in the outskirts, changing my pants in the woods.
This might be like the last place, though. You know, this is like a city.
The outskirts, changing my pants in the woods.
Oh, you would like buy the clothes and then carry them with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, that makes a lot of sense. This guy doesn't have a lot of sense.
Yeah, and they're going to be dirty by the time you get there.
No, he's going to stand up the whole time. He's going to be so clean. Don't worry about it. Okay, so he says like, hey, can you hold on to this box for me for a little while? And he's like, I'm going to go home. I'm going to get half a dozen strong men from my village to like be my entourage, come back and like escort me back home with all my fortune. But the Lala was like, no, I couldn't possibly. That's not something I do. I never take people's treasures and keep them here. It's like really not good business. And the guy was like, please? please do that for me. And the guy's like, no. I don't want to take your box of, I don't know, treasures or dirt. I don't care what's in it, to be honest. It doesn't have any effect on me because I'm not going to take it because I never do that. So sorry. I just wanted to tell you you're going to get robbed and probably murdered. And the guy's like, oh my God, please hold this. So the merchant is like pleading with him. He's like, you must have a place you could store this. It's just for a few days. I'm going to come back. And at this point, as he's like begging and pleading and Beacamole is like, no, I couldn't possibly. The merchant starts realizing that he's made a huge mistake. He has all but shouted, I'm really rich. I have so much money on me. I can't fight and I'm so scared.
I have a couple of alternatives to what's happening.
Okay.
He's in the city. Find some people in the city to escort you. Or if you're worried because you don't know anyone in the city that you can trust. I was going to say,
like, what if they like just rob him on the road?
Pay a messenger to go to your village and get people you trust. Bring them back.
I honestly think that might be the thing to do, but no, he's in full panic now. And now he's like announced that he's super rich.
I'm just
and
saying,
can't fight and is really scared.
The critical thinking needs work.
I know. He needs to hire you to do his thinking for him. And then you will send for a messenger. Or maybe you'll escort him and then accidentally take his money.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So now he's like, I'm really afraid to like go around now and find somebody else to store my riches. Because at this point, now I'm just like an easy mark. Mm-hmm. So he's like, it has to be this guy. It doesn't seem smart to keep advertising myself as like wealthy and unsure of what to do with all my money.
I would also say from the beginning that I would have found someone that I trust wherever I was before, left half of my money with them, brought the other half back, and then called for it.
That was super far away, though. I don't know if that was an option.
Or even hired some guys to take me the whole way.
Yeah.
It just feels like there are other, there are other ways to do this so that you're not walking around with $100 cash or whatever.
$100 even.
Riches. Okay. Riches beyond measure.
So he continues to beg Beacamole to hold his stuff, and eventually the shopkeeper is like, all right, I'll hold your box for you.
Oh.
You want me to explain what a hard-on is again?
No, that's good. Thank you.
The merchant pulled out the little box of jewels, and Beacamole locked it up in a strong chest with some other things of value that belonged to him, I guess. There's no proof that they belong to him.
They do now.
Yeah. The two men talked for a bit longer, they made a bunch of promises, and then they parted. Now, the merchant was still feeling pretty uneasy over having left his entire fortune that he worked so hard on. But overall, he's like,
Can you explain to me one more time what a hard-on is?
Oh my God, I accidentally said hard-on again. That was unintentional. But he was like, I feel like I really made a friend with Beacamole. He seemed to like genuinely have like my best interest in mind, in heart. Can't remember that saying. Anyway, so he was like, hey, he really like seems to want the best for me. And so he was like, that's fine. But he still kind of went around to other shops in the bazaar, and wherever he would go, he would be like, hey, do you know Beacamole? What do you think about him? Is he like trustworthy?
Is he some kind of Jar Jar Binks?
He's not a Jar Jar Binks, is he? And they're like, Misa don't know. That's the worst thing I've ever said. What he didn't realize was that this bazaar is like full of thieves. Like every single place he goes to is just like run by a thief. And Beacamole was the worst of all of them. He's kind of like the king thief here.
How bizarre.
How bizarre. So he's like asking about Beacamole, and all these other thieves are like, oh my God, he definitely just got a huge payout. I wonder if I lie for him. I wonder if I can get some of that. And they're like, he's great. He's so great. He gave me a loan for my car. We love Beacamole.
He's my child's godfather, actually.
Yeah, he's my baby daddy, actually.
He delivered the baby.
He's my baby.
I'm his baby.
Yeah.
And he's my baby. We're babies.
Oh my God, Beacamole, we baby. He's like, what?
Misa babies.
Everyone's having a stroke in this bazaar, and that is bizarre.
How bizarre.
Oh. So, they're just like lying to him, hoping that they can get a cut of whatever Beacamole is up to.
Yeah.
So the merchant was put at ease, and he traveled on to his village really happily. And in a little over a week, he returned to the city with 6 strong young nephews and a couple of friends as his entourage. They went to the great marketplace where the merchant was like, okay, everyone, you wait here. I'm just going to really quick go and fetch my box of jewels from my good friend, Beacamole. So just like wait here and then we can head back out. And they're like, you got it, boss, uncle.
Sorry, I keep interrupting, but I just had the thought, I was like, gosh, I really wish I had like a bunch of like
strong young
nephews. And then I realized that I have a bunch
of strong young nephews.
Wow.
There's truly no girls in my family. Oh, to have but one strong young niece.
I would trade all the nephews.
No! Not a single one.
Just one very strong niece.
Oh, I got one niece, but she's the strongest fucking niece you ever seen. She's fucking jacked. All right. Nope, just a bunch of strong young nephews. So the merchant goes into Beeka Mole's shop, and he's like, "Good day, Lala G." And Lala is like, "I don't know her." Like, is ignoring him.
Can I help you?
Completely. He doesn't even say that. He literally just like turns his face and ignores him. And the guy's like, "That's weird." So he waves again, and he's like, "Good day, Lala G." Because obviously he hadn't heard him.
Mm-hmm.
But as he repeated his greeting, the man snapped, "What do you want? You said your good day twice. Why don't you just tell me your business?"
Oh, that's not very Lala-G of you.
That's not very Lala-G of you. The merchant was shocked, and he's like, "Don't you remember me?" And the other man growled at him and said, "Remember you? Why should I? I see so many people every day. Important people, rich people. Why would I remember some random fucking guy who comes in obviously whining for charity?" And the merchant is like starting to like tremble a little. And he's like, "Lala G, surely you remember me. And the little box I gave you to take care of, you were like really cool about it last week. You promised to hold it for me. And then you said you would give it back to me when I came back with all my strong young nephews." And Beeka Mole stood up and basically all but screamed and started throwing shit at him and was like, "Get out of my shop." He says, quote, "Be off with you, you impudent scamp. Everybody knows that I never keep treasures for anyone. I have enough trouble keeping my own stuff." Beeka Mole didn't give him a receipt.
I mean, he didn't give him a receipt. How many strong young nephews would you say that there are?
Well, in my case, I have like four. Four strong young nephews.
I feel like 4 strong young nephews might be enough to give Beeka Mole some trouble.
Wow.
Especially since apparently he has such a hard time holding on to his valuables.
He really has a hard time holding on to his valuables. So he started to push the trembling merchant out of the shop, but the merchant was like, "No, I'm not leaving without my shit. You have to give it to me." And eventually 2 bystanders were flagged down by Beeka Mole, and they threw the merchant out on his ass. And the guy, like, lay in the dirt, bruised and bleeding, but not feeling any pain because he was so numb from having his entire life savings stolen and not seeing any way to get it back. Because he's like, "Oh my God, it's literally this guy's word against mine. And like everyone here knows him and loves him." So he dragged himself to a nearby wall and he sat against it and like put his head in his hands and just sat like that for a very long time.
And all of his strong young nephews stood around him in a circle and patted him on the head.
"Uncle.
Uncle.
Uncle. Uncle." And he's like, "Oh, I didn't.
Not now, guys.
Stop. I'm not in the mood." So he sat there, frozen for hours. Darkness fell around him. And when it was about 11 o'clock at night, quote, "A certain gay young fellow named Coochie Ram passed by with a friend."
Hey,
I'm Coochie Ram. I'm certainly gay and young.
I'm sorry. Gucci Ram?
Coochie.
Coochie Ram.
Even better. K-O-O-S-H-Y.
Coochie Ram.
By the way, I'm positive that some man named like Colonel Campbell or Major Campbell is the one that like collected these stories from India like back in the day, and I just am positive he didn't know any names, and these are not actually names. They're spelled so old white major. Anyway,
just if any of you guys do drag, I just really feel like Coochie Ram would be a great drag name.
And if any of you want to be a rapper a la Gucci Mane, Gucci Ram. All right. So, certain gay young fellow. Coochie Ram. I wrote, that's a very hard name to say out loud.
You were right.
Yeah. Coochie Ram saw the man crouched with his head in his hands, and he's like walking with a friend, and he like looks over and he goes, "Who's that guy?" And the friend was like, "Probably a thief, right?" And Coochie Ram's like, "Wait, just because everybody here is a thief, you think that guy's a thief?" He's sitting right there in public crying. I just feel like a thief wouldn't do that. He's like, I mean, even at night, he wouldn't be this obvious.
So true, Coochie Ram.
He says, basically, he's like, this guy is obviously going through something. And then they're like, yeah, And then the two kept going on. They had a party to get to.
Damn.
They didn't think about him again. But at around 5 o'clock the next morning, Kushi Ram is returning home again. It's fun. I'm like, damn, Kushi Ram, he parties.
Hey.
Kushi Ram honestly sounds like a good time.
Work hard, play hard.
I don't think he works that hard, Max.
He works hard at playing hard.
He plays so hard, though. He was surprised to see that the man was still there, crouched against the wall with his head in his hands, just hasn't moved for like 15 hours.
Surrounded by nephews.
Yeah. No, his nephews are not there.
Oh.
Strong or weak. The gay young fellow went up to him, shook him gently by the shoulder, and said, "Hey, who are you? Why are you here? What's going on? You sick?" And at this point, the merchant was like, "Yes, I'm sick. I'm fucking sick and tired of this shit."
Sick and tired of being sick and tired.
He says, like, "I'm so sick. There's no cure for it. There's no medicine that can help me.
Except maybe $100 cash."
But no one has that kind of money. At this point, Kushi Ram is like, "Nonsense. Come along with me. I know a medicine that will cure you, I think." And then the gay young man took the merchant up by the arm and dragged him home with him. And he gave him a large glass of wine. I want to remind you, it's 5 o'clock in the morning.
Real as fuck.
And he also gives him like a big breakfast. And after that, he finally got the merchant to tell him what was wrong. I'm imagining for Kushi Ram, I'm imagining Klaus from the Umbrella Academy.
Oh, I like that.
That's literally all I can think.
I like that a lot. I'm imagining Malcolm from The English Teacher.
100%. Guys, go watch The English Teacher. We're obsessed with it. It's so good. So he plies him with wine at 5 o'clock in the morning and breakfast. And then he's like, "Okay, so tell me the whole story. Don't leave anything out." And then, like, he gets him to open up. Meanwhile, the merchant's companions, all those strong young nephews, they're all kind of stupid. And they all have assumed that the merchant has gotten his stuff and decided to go home alone.
Oh, nephews, no.
So they got tired of waiting, and they were like, "We're not going to go looking for him at all. Probably, definitely, he just went home alone." And then they just go back to the village without him.
Oh my god, nephews, no.
We were at Target the other day with our friend Lauren, and at one point, Lauren and I were at the book section, and we, like, Max, like, we had checked, Max was in the changing room, so we were, like, looking at books. And then it became clear that we had been at the book section for a long time, and I was like, "Oh, wow, we should go find Max." And she's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "That's weird." And we looked down, and Max sent us a text at that moment, and all it said was, "I'm at home."
I'm in home.
Oh, yeah, it said, "I'm in home." And both of us were like, "The fuck?" I mean, I guess she took her car, and I took my car, so, like, Lauren does have a ride, but, like, what the fuck? We thought she got mad at us and just left Target. Or, more likely, I thought you had an extreme bathroom emergency, and you decided to leave.
I've never had a bathroom emergency in my life.
Well, must be nice.
I would ruin a Target bathroom before I ever went home without telling you.
It's just, we were so convinced that you had just gone home. We were like, wow, I guess she just left us. Anyway.
Did you forget that I'm the most clingy person on the planet?
No, I just...
most over-communicative.
You're not clingy, you're just extremely thoughtful, so, like, you would never just go home. But I was like, maybe she's either mad at us or having diarrhea everywhere. She's like, "I have to get out of here."
The punchline is that I was in the home section, and I just missed a word when I was typing.
Yeah. Okay. That's what his nephews said, though. They were just like, "Bye." And they left. I'm in home.
I'm in home.
I'm in home.
I guess he's at home.
So basically, the merchant would have been in a lot of trouble if Kushi Ram had not found him and, like, taken him in, because he has nobody here and is just destitute at this point. So here's a little backstory on Kushi Ram. When he was a boy, he had been left a huge sum of money and no instructions on how to spend it.
Wow.
He was, quote, high-spirited, kind-hearted, and shrewd in the bargain, but he threw his money away like water, and generally upon the nearest thing or person in his way, and that, alas, was most often himself. He's just like, "I have so much money, and I'm a child, so I'm buying 17 Xboxes for me and all my friends." I love Kushi Ram. So, like, he's not great with money, but he is a nice friend, and he took one look at the merchant and was like, "You need a friend. And more wine, probably." Yes.
It's almost 6 o'clock. We gotta get you some more wine.
God, eventually he has to sleep. I'm so attracted to him. He listened to the merchant's tale of woe, and when he was done talking, the young man looked at him and just started laughing, and he was like, "Bika Mole is, like, the biggest crook in this entire place. Like, you found the king thief. You skipped straight ahead, like, past all the other thieves, and you went to literally the worst guy you could have gone to. You gave him your money. You just... Why'd you do that? And also, honestly, impressively, how did you do that? And he's like, Bika Mole is probably like, I have been a good boy, thank you.
God.
And so, after he's like, that's hilarious, I said, you basically just put your baby in a tiger's mouth and said, keep this warm for me, will you? Then he shook his head and he said, okay, all right, let me think about this for a bit. I bet I can figure out a way to get your shit back. I'm really good at this. And I'm like, really good at this, trust me. So just hang out for a few days. I'm going to figure this out for you. It's like my new mission. I love this shit. And the merchant's like, okay, I guess. And then he just like hangs out for a few days.
Nice.
Yeah. And he has a great time because Kushi Ram is a great host.
I bet. I assume that they were having sleepovers the whole time.
Yeah.
Telling secrets, drinking wine.
Kushi Ram's like a little gay, so it's fine. Yeah. So, the merchant stayed with Kushi Ram for a bit, feeling better by the day. And a few days after this, Kushi Ram invited some friends over. And then he talked to them for a long time. And the merchant couldn't hear all that was said, but every once in a while he would hear them just start laughing and just laughing some more. And he's like, they're laughing at me.
Probably.
Yeah, and he was right. Kushi Ram's like, you're never going to believe what happened. And soon after his friends left, Kushi Ram came to the merchant and said, hey, do you remember that wall that you were like sobbing against when I met you? And the merchant's like, I do. Yes. And Kushi Ram says, okay, this afternoon, I need you to go stand against that same wall and just watch. And then when you get a signal, you're going to know the signal when you see it. When you get the signal, I need you to go up to Bika Mole and say exactly this. Oh, Lala G, will you kindly let me have back that box of mine, which you have on trust?
Oh.
And the merchant's like, that's your plan? Just ask him for the box? I waited days for this. I've done that.
You think I didn't try that?
You think you've said the magic words? And Kushi Ram is like, listen, just fucking do what I tell you to. Just don't forget it, all right? God damn it. This guy's always fucking complaining. Drink some more wine. And he's like, it's 7 a.m. So that afternoon, the merchant went and he stood by the wall as he was told. And he noticed Bika Mole notice him. And the two men just ignored each other. Like neither of them were acknowledging the other. And then suddenly, as he's waiting, a giant palanquin.
Palanquin.
I looked it up. I looked up a pronunciation guide today.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Mm. There might be different, like, what's it called?
Like regional?
Yeah, regional things. But when I looked it up, I played a little, like, Google, like, thing, and it said palanquin. Anyway.
I don't like that.
I'm going to say it a whole bunch. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no.
I honestly couldn't figure out which one was right, but that was the one that came across. So as he's sitting there, suddenly a gorgeous palanquin came into the bazaar, like those that carry princesses and noble ladies, right? And it's being borne by 4 bearers, and they're all dressed in rich livery. They look really, really good. And it has like curtains and trappings, and it's just like shining. This is clearly like splendid. In attendance with this palanquin was a grave-faced young man, and behind him came a servant with a box covered with a cloth, and that box was like on his head. The palanquin came along the streets at this sharp pace, like they have a mission, and finally they set it down right in front of Bika Mole's shop. And Bika Mole is like, oh my god, obviously somebody super wealthy is here.
Who, me? Bika Mole?
Hello? The shopkeeper was on his feet at once. He bowed deeply to the gentlemen bearers, and he asked, who is in the palanquin that deigns to favor my humble shop with a visit? And what may I do for her? And the gentleman like leans into the curtain and he whispers something, and then somebody whispers back, and then he comes back and he says, all right, so this is a relative of mine, and she is traveling. She was traveling with her husband, but her husband can go no further with her, and she doesn't want to travel with all her riches, so she's here to ask Bika Mole to keep a box with all of her jewels for her, like in a trust. And the shopkeeper bows low to the ground, and he's like, normally I would never do this. I just don't do this. Everyone knows I don't do this. But I'm going to make an exception for you, and I'll guard that box with my life. Like, trust me, this is going to be good for both of us. And the servant was like, okay. So the servant carrying the box was called up, and they unlocked the box, and inside was this mass of gorgeous jewelry, which the shopkeeper was invited to come inspect. And he's like drooling because it's so expensive. He's like, oh my God, yes, I will keep this for you, no problem. Meanwhile, the merchant is watching all of this from his like sob wall, and he like almost misses the moment when a hand reached out of the curtain and began to like beckon him over. And he like blinks, unsure of what to do. Like he looks around like, me? Is that the sign from me? And then the hand starts to like beckon again, like more impatiently. Now it's like flipping him off, like over here. And so he's like, okay, so I guess this is the signal. And he like jumps into action.
I like to imagine that this hand keeps beckoning and then the curtains part and you just see Coochie Mane poke his head out and he's dressed fully like in women's clothing, full makeup. And he's like, get the fuck over here.
All right. So he's like, this is the signal. He walks right up to Beakamole. He salutes him and he says, oh, Lala G, will you kindly let me have back that box of mine, which you have on trust? And Lala G is busy inspecting some treasure, and he looked up like he'd been slapped. And then a bunch of thoughts and emotions start to, like, roll through him, and he's like, uh-oh. If this guy starts making a huge fuss in front of this really rich client, I'm going to miss this really rich client. They're going to leave and go somewhere else. So he, like, took a breath. He plastered on a really fake smile, and he said, dear me, of course, I had forgotten all about it. I'll be right back. And he went away, and then he came back with a little box, and he put it into the merchant's hands. And the merchant took the key from around his neck, and he unlocked the box, and seeing that all his treasures were still there and untouched, he rushed out into the road, and he began dancing like a lunatic, shouting and screaming with laughter.
Don't do that.
At this moment, a messenger came running up to the palanquin and said, good news! The lady's husband has arrived. She no longer needs to store her treasures here, so no business for you. Goodbye!
Ooh.
And at this point, the gentleman holding the box snaps the box closed, Pretty Woman style, on the shopkeeper's fingers. And they hand it back to the waiting servant. And then, from the palanquin, came this yell of laughter, and out jumped, not a lady, but Coochie Ram. It doesn't say he's dressed like a lady, but I also like to assume he's dressed like a lady. He ran out into the street. He began to dance and shout with the merchant. They're both just like twerking in the square. They're having the fucking best time. And also, the story is like he's dancing and laughing harder than the merchant. Like he's having the best day. He's a little drunk. So
he's been a little drunk for many, many days.
He's been drunk for years. A while. Beakamole just stood staring at them for a second. But then suddenly, quote, with a shrill cackle of laughter, he flung off his turban, bounced out into the road with the two men who were partying, and fell to dancing and snapping his fingers until he was out of breath. And the merchant and his young gay companion stopped dancing, and they were like, wait, we know why we're dancing. Why are you dancing?
And Beakamole is like, I was Coochie Mane all the time.
And he's like, who is that? The shopkeeper, quote, glared at them with a bloodshot eye and said, I dance because I knew 13 different ways of deceiving people by pretending confidence in them. I didn't know there were any more. And now here's a 14th. That's why I dance.
Wow.
The end.
Wow.
Yeah, he's like, I just learned a new fucking scheme.
Woo! Oh my God, I hope he and Gucci Ram go into business together.
No, Gucci Ram is like chaotic good. This guy's just a dick.
I feel like they could team up for adventures.
I hate Beakamole.
For the common good.
No.
He's a scamp.
Gucci Ram, honestly, is the best depiction of chaotic good I think I've ever seen. Like, he's so fucking, like, thoughtful and also truly insane. I love him. So here's a quick note. This is a Punjabi story. It's from a man called Major Campbell. It's from Firozpur, which is a city in Punjab, India. According to a brief note by Andrew Lang, he talks about all his translators and where he gets his stories from. And he also sources them at the end, if there is a source. But he basically just says, Major Campbell, as previously, which he shows up in other books, tells tales which he collected among the natives of India. But the sources are usually named at the end of each story, and when they are not named, children will not miss them. End quote.
Wow.
So, like, he's like, listen, he doesn't always source them well, but, like, this is a book for kids, so, like, I doubt kids care. And I'm like, hey, this kid cares. Also, this kid came in 5th in a hula hooping competition, so, like
against
don't get
4 other children.
Against 4 other kids. Anyway, that's Diamond Cut Diamond.
That's delightful.
Yeah.
I love a scheme story.
I just love that this just genuinely is just Klaus from Umbrella Academy. That's the only way I can picture him. And I love him.
I'm still picturing Malcolm, but yeah.
Malcolm, I don't think, is chaotic good. If you guys haven't watched The English Teacher, Malcolm is a character who shows up and basically is just there to, like, make the main character's life, like, a little more chaotic in a really fun way. He's delightful and fun. But, like, I don't think he's there to do a lot of good. I think he's just there to fucking stir shit up. This guy is doing shit.
Well, Cushy Rambo, he wasn't doing it because he was... It doesn't seem like it was so much out of, like, the goodness of his heart as it was that he wanted a challenge.
I don't think so. I don't think that was ever stated as much as he just saw a guy crying and was like, hey, it's going to be okay. You're coming to my house and I'm going to give you a bunch of wine at 5 a.m. and then a big breakfast. And I'm going to get that hot goss, but also you can stay with me. It's fine. You know, I think that he genuinely, and they also talk about him just having all this money and spending it on all his friends. Like, he just, I think, likes helping people.
That's good.
Kind of has the means to do it. I hope he doesn't run out of money.
Me too.
This is the sort of person that should have, like, it deserves to have money, you know? He does fun things with it.
Yeah. If only we were all so lucky.
Oh my God. I would also be bad at money.
I'm already bad at money.
Yeah, I'm so bad at money.
But if I was so rich, I would do so many silly things with my money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
This is a weird thing. But I'm always, like, kind of baffled when people, like, spend $6,000 on a dress or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's
so
one thing
weird.
if it's, like, a craftsman, like, well, like, something that the actual craft of it is worth $6,000.
I can't imagine.
But I feel like that's a rare case. And there's so many things that, like, rich people get that are just about status, like literally any kind of handbag, right? And I just do not understand that, because for the price of a single Louis Vuitton handbag, you could buy so many bouncy balls.
Bouncy balls?
Yeah.
I'm not interested. I just can't imagine.
You could buy a plot of land and just live on it in a tent for, like, a year, just for fun.
Just for fun even.
For fun even.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
There's so much wacky shit that you can do when you have a lot of money, and I cannot imagine spending a ton of money on something that isn't actually valuable in any way.
In my personal opinion, the more expensive an item of clothing is, the less comfortable it actually is to wear.
Yeah.
You know, like, it doesn't really move with you. I don't know. I'm somebody whose weight fluctuates up and down constantly, just like for fun, kind of. I think it's
for fun.
Probably because of all the salt I eat, which is most of my diet. But, like, it's just, the more expensive it is, just the less give it tends to have. And also then you're just, like, afraid to move around in it. And I'm constantly, like, in the dirt with kids all day. Like, I can't be bothered. I don't understand. I'm not a clothes person. I've never been a shoe person. I truly don't know what I spend all my money on, but I never have it. So
I think that there's, like, a bell curve as far as, like, the value of things. And, like, when things are very, very low cost and also low value.
Like Temu.
Yeah, they fall apart, you know,
and
very
they're
quickly.
going to have a bunch of chemicals, and there's going to be, like, the human labor of it all.
Yeah, the human rights violations and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like you go from there and it's like, okay, you get to stuff that's, like, actually, like, responsibly made, ethically sourced and everything. And that gets, like, pricey.
Yeah.
Right? And then it gets, like, more than that. And it's like, okay, this is the same stuff, but it's just more expensive. Just pure profit. And then that just gets less and less quality, more and more pure profit. And then it gets up to a level where it just plateaus completely.
Yeah.
I like, if someone has spent, like, an entire year hand beating, like, a full gown or something like that out of whatever, there are situations in which something could be worth a crazy amount of money.
Yeah.
But 99.9% of the time, if something costs like $5,000, it's because it cost maybe $200 in labor to produce, not ethically.
An influencer.
Not ethically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the rest of it is just pure profit and the brand that goes with it, you know?
Coochie Mane would never.
Gucci Mane would never.
Gucci Mane might, but Coochie Ram would never.
Coochie Ram would never.
Okay. Guys, tell us how you spend your money.
Yeah.
Tell us how to spend our money, please. Somebody tell me how to spend my money.
Hey, really quickly, do you guys have any financial advice for us?
Just text us with your best financial advice. Speaking of, if you liked these stories, if you have any thoughts or notes or just things that you want to tell us about anything, really, you can text us. The link is in the show notes. We won't text back, but I probably will end up putting it on the Instagram stories because I think it's fun. Rate and review this podcast. Please give us 5 stars. It would make me feel so good. And leave a funny little review. I don't know. Anything you want. Something weird. I'll put it on the stories. Follow us on Instagram at Sort of the Story, TikTok at Sort of the Story. Send us an email at sortofthestory@gmail.com with all of your thoughts or pet pictures. Join the Discord by joining the Patreon at $3 or $7 if you want to listen to some bonus episodes. They're pretty good. There's 22 of them. By the time this episode comes out, there should be 22.
Wow.
And go on to the website if you want to see some more information about all these stories. It's just www.sortofthestory.com. Any other thoughts, Max?
No.
Okay. Guys, we're going to go and sleep. I was going to say forever, but it's 10:30 at night and I wake up at 6. So not forever.
Hey.
Hey. We hope you're having a wonderful week and we will see you soon with another set of stories. Goodbye, guys.
Bye. Right now, my spine feels like... Have you ever seen, like, when a crayon breaks into a bunch of pieces?
No, I've never seen that.
And then you try and tape it back together so it's, like, long enough to hold the normal way? That's what my spine feels like.
A crayon?
Mm-hmm.
Never in my life taped a crayon. Certainly wouldn't do it now as an art teacher. I got crayons coming out of the wazoo. Stay broken.
You should go to a doctor.
Hey, broke bitch. Yeah.
It's just like a loosely scotch tape column of broken crayon bits. That's what my spine feels like.
Who would love you?
Who?
The Greeks.
Please tell me.
The Greeks. They love broken columns.
God. Do they?
Yeah, they're like all about them.
There's a couple of lines in the show New Girl that just really created new emotions for me. Mm-hmm. Or I guess maybe put words to things that I don't think I could have ever accurately expressed otherwise.
Can I guess which one you're going to say?
Go for it.
Is it Nick Miller saying it's like the sandwich if all the stuff got smushed?
Pain. Like if all the stuff came out of the sandwich.
Yes.
Yeah.
At this point, like New Girl rotted our brains so much that our brains basically have blunt bangs.
Blunt, bang, brain.
Blunt, bang, brain. You know?
Yeah, that show lives in my blood.
Who do you think you are more of? If you had to do like which New Girl character are you?
I'm a Nick, Sun.
Okay.
Schmidt, Moon, Winston, Rising.
I think maybe swap out Schmidt for Cece.
For me?
Yes, I really think that
I feel like I have nothing in common with Cece.
I feel like you're very, very Cece-like. In like all the ways that matter. You're like a loyal friend, but you're also like a straightforward, pragmatic friend who is willing to be like, hey, that's the things that they did is actually really stupid and let me explain why they can't do that to you. Like, that's you. That's extremely Cece.
Maybe our relationship is a...
Oh, yeah, 100%. You and I are a Jess and Cece in many ways. But also, later on, when Cece becomes a model, like, talent manager, and her whole thing is just, like, she knew a guy who was being taken advantage of, and she's like, give me the phone. They can't treat you like that, and they won't, because I'm their worst nightmare. I know how it works. Yeah, that's you. You're extremely Cece.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Cece's the fucking best. Yeah.
I always think of myself as being moderately Schmidt because I'm very particular sometimes.
That's true. You are
I like
particular.
my fancy things.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think
How about you?
I might be Jess, probably Winston, and maybe Ruth. Let's just curveball it. Be Schmidt and Cece's daughter.
I think you've got a Ruth Mars.
There's a Ruth in there. I really love being mean to Nick.